Hello, konnichiwa. I am back from Japan and I have bought enough stuff to fill this suitcase and also another bag, and I'm very excited to go through it all with you. I would also like to preface this. I'm super grateful that I was able to go on this trip and go to the places that I have always been dreaming of visiting, and I'm just really excited to share my experience with you guys. Drew and I visited Japan for 2 weeks, and we went to a lot of places. If you have stumbled in for the first time, I am Chloe of the Everhearth Inn, and let's get into the video. I may have gone a little bit overboard at the Pokemon Center. This isn't even all of it. I have some gifts for my sister that I will not be showing. I don't want her to see what I got her. I have been looking forward to going to the Pokemon Center for years, and I went there twice. 2 Pokemon Centers, 1 Pokemon Cafe, a suitcase full of shit. And I love it all, okay? I'll start with the Pokemon Cafe. We got 2 little guys, Chef Pikachu and who is this? Baker Pikachu, I don't know. And we also got some coasters, and these actually came with the reservation for the Pokemon Cafe. Well, they didn't come with the reservation for the Pokemon Cafe. I had to pay for these as well, but I had the opportunity to buy them with my reservation of the Pokemon Center Cafe. And then the last thing that I got from the Pokemon Center Cafe was this Gengar cup. You'll know if you watched the Everything We Ate in Japan video. We got this cup for ordering the Gengar smoothie at the Pokemon Center. Next up on the list, I'm gonna go through all the plushies that I got. I'm in so deep.
That's what she said!
With the Pokemon fandom. First one, Weedle, Kakuna, okay? I didn't get a Beedrill. I don't know why I didn't get a Beedrill. So I have a goal to have a figurine or plushie of all of the first 151 Pokemon. Didn't have a Weedle, didn't have a Kakuna, so I had to get those. I also don't have a Slowpoke, so I got a Slowpoke. The first Pokemon Center I walked into, it was like the first thing I saw, and I was like, gotta pick it up. I also got a Cyndaquil keychain. I have a Pokemon backpack that I like to put these little doodads on. What is your name? It's all in Japanese. Pyrumiku, I think, is the name of this Pokemon. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If I had to pick a cutest Pokemon, it would be Snom. But this guy, I saw him and I was like, you're close second. It's also extremely squishy. There was a giant pillow version of this. The only reason I didn't get it was because I actually had no idea how we would have fit it inside of our suitcase at that point, because we were like a couple days from leaving. This is a suitcase we bought in Japan, by the way, just to bring everything home. Oh, we have a Machamp. This is Drew's. Machamp kind of scares me, not gonna lie. Next, I'm going to go into the figurines. First up on the list, I got some Nanoblocks figurines. I got a Suicune and a Rayquaza, and I actually already built these, so let me show them to you. Gotta fix you. So, I just broke this like 4 times. The Rayquaza is very fragile. And then here's the Suicune. Those are the 2 Nanoblocks. The Rayquaza, there's like certain parts of it that are holding on by one little Lego node. So if you touch it, it falls apart. Not a huge fan of that, but it looks really cool. It's not like I'm gonna be playing with it. So it's just gonna be a little display thing. So once I find somewhere for it to go, it shouldn't fall apart.
A few moments later.
Pumpkin's tail hit the Rayquaza, and I just threw away the instructions. It's okay, buddy. Next up, we're gonna go through some figurines that I got. I had to take some of them out of the boxes to be able to fit them in the suitcase. I have some of them already built. So I'll start with these cute little circle ones. We have an Umbreon at night, an Espeon in the daytime, and a Lapras underwater. These came in those mystery boxes, and when you open it up, it's a surprise. So this is what those came in. Also in a mystery box, I got this one, which is a Pikachu and a Cherim, just kind of hanging out in the grass. I got a couple just individual Pokemon. So I got a shiny Rayquaza. I have a regular Rayquaza figurine, but I don't have a shiny. And Rayquaza is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. As you can tell, I have a tattoo of Rayquaza on me. And also, Drew got a Metagross. Metagross is one of his favorite Pokemon, so we saw that and we had to get it. This figurine I actually got outside of the Pokemon Center. There was a bunch of those gacha machines. You put like 200 yen in and you twist the little dial and then you get this little circle pod of some random figurine that's in the case. And I saw a gacha that had all different Psyducks, and I love Psyduck because, fun fact, Psyduck is constantly in pain because it suffers from chronic migraine, which I also suffer from. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I should get a little Psyduck. And he does a little waddle. Look at this. Isn't that cute? And then last on my list of figurines is a box that I did not open yet. So I will do that here with you. It looks like it has the option for a Bulbasaur, a Mudkip, a Pikachu. I don't know the name of those Pokemon. Kricketot and something. I don't know the name of those Pokemon, and I do not know the name of that Pokemon either. So I think out of all of them, I would love to get the Mudkip or the Bulbasaur. Honestly, the Pikachu's cute too, but again, I have so many Pikachu figurines. I do not need another Pikachu figurine. Let's see what I get. I got the Bulbasaur! Yes! I got the Bulbasaur. Oh, okay, I'm very happy. So I guess if you've never seen one of these, they come in kind of apart and you have to put them together. Some of them are more intricate than others. And then you just kind of put the little figurine in like this. So next I will be going into like the etc. stuff that I got. First up on the list, an Ultra Ball. That's all it is. I wasn't completely sure if there was going to be anything inside, but there was not. I'm also collecting all of the different types of Pokeballs, and I have yet to find an Ultra Ball. Adding onto that list, a Master Ball. This has something in it. I do not know what, because it's all in Japanese. Let's just open that right now and see what it is. Oh. What is this? First, what was in it is this little guy, which is a little stamp. Then it also came with these candies. Let me just open this directly into the microphone. I swear to you, I did not mean to do that. Hold on. I mean, I assume there's no nuts in them, but I will have to translate the ingredients to verify. I'm just excited that I now have a Master Ball. Now I can catch whatever Pokemon I want. First try. Next, I got a pair of socks. Do love me an Espeon. I also got some kitchenware. A bowl with Pikachu and another Pokemon on there that I know the name of it, but it's escaping me at the moment. And then I got some chopsticks. I got Pikachu on mine, and then Drew got Snorlax on his. I also got these Pokemon, which actually are Drew's favorite Pokemon. I know Quillfish is on the right, and then an evolution of Quillfish on the left. And then we also got a few stickers. We got Psyduck, of course. Ditto. I had to have Ditto. I also got Doduo and Dodrio. Fun fact, my Emerald game, I decided that I did not want to be best friends with my starter Pokemon. I wanted to be best friends with the next Pokemon that I caught. And that Pokemon was Doduo. So I mained Dodrio for the majority of the game. And then Drew got some of his favorite Pokemon, which is Oddish, Cloyster, and of course, Machamp. This one is a lot cuter than the Machamp plushie, so I stand by this one. Lastly, I got some Pokemon cards. I got these ones because they were like $1 for a pack. And then they had some $4 packs as well that I got like 2 of. And that is it for the Pokemon Center. So next up, I'm going to go over what I got from Muji. If you did not know, like me, what Muji was before you got to Japan, you just had it on your itinerary because it was recommended. Muji is like a Japanese IKEA. So I got a few things from there. First off, I got some sunscreen. I have been making sure that I'm wearing sunscreen every day because I want to protect my skin. I got these 2 sunscreens, which Reddit highly recommended as the best skincare at Muji because it's very basic, very non-irritating, and I have skin that definitely gets irritated pretty easily. So I'm definitely excited to try those. Another thing I got is these, which they look like beads, but they're actually toothbrush holders. Let me get a little example. All you do is you put it in there like that, and then your toothbrush can like dry. You have the little bristles up here. Something I really like about it that's different than like the little cups that hold your toothbrush is that there's a hole all the way through it, so the water will just drain down the bottom and you won't get that gross like gunk. So I very much like these, and I got 2 of them in cute colors. And then last but definitely not least, there's a little story to this. When I was in college, one of my friends had one of these and they showed it to me, and I was in awe of how it worked. And that thing is a stapleless stapler. He showed me it working and I was like, that is magic. So how it works is you just kind of have your 2 pieces of paper, as you can see, separate pieces of paper. Do a little staple. And it does this interesting cut and fold. You see how it made like a little hole? And it pushes that piece of paper through. And now you have a stapled piece of paper. I'll show you again on this side. Okay, so this is a little bit easier to see. So you can see it cuts this out, pushes it through to the other side. And then you have a staple made out of paper, essentially. That's crazy. Next up on our list is everything that I got at Don Quijote, which, if you don't know, is a huge department store. That's where we got our extra luggage, actually, was Don Quijote. There's quite a bit of like just random stuff in here. First up, I got some like model kits. I don't know if that's what they're called, but they're these like cardboard laser cut things that you then put together, kind of like Legos, and then you make this like paper art figurine in the end. Got a lot of Pokemon ones. I got Mewtwo and Mew. And then I also got a diorama display of Charizard and Charmander and Charmeleon. And then I also got the kitty cat from Kiki's Delivery Service. And I actually already built a couple of these because I wanted to show you kind of what they look like when they're done. Let me try not to break it apart. The Mewtwo. This one was not very easy to build. A lot of the pieces slide in pretty easily, but the smaller pieces, if you don't get the direction right on some of those pieces, then they bend and then they're hard to like get to stay. So I did have to glue a couple pieces. I just used like Elmer's the stick glue and it worked just fine. The other one that I built was the Charizard display thing. Now this one required glue. The instructions were all in Japanese, but when I translated it, because I couldn't figure out how to get these to stick together, it was like,
use glue.
I used the stick glue. Probably wasn't the best choice of glue because I did end up getting it kind of everywhere. You can't tell from a distance, but when you get close up, you're like, oh, there's just like fingerprints all over this. This one was pretty fun to build. Definitely a big fan of this style. And then I also ended up getting more nano blocks, but this time I got a little Sakura bonsai tree, which is super cute. I love plants, and I saw this with the little nano blocks and I thought it would be a perfect little addition. I also ended up getting a couple more sunscreens. These ones are like super affordable, and this one in particular is highly recommended on Reddit. And then last but not least, I got some little guys. So I got this one because I was walking by, I was like, this reminds me of pancake. I don't know why. And when I walked up to Drew, I showed it to him and he said,
that looks like pancake.
I was like,
that's exactly why I picked it up.
But then, obviously, I have 2 children. I had to find one that looked like pumpkin. That was a little bit harder because Pancake's a unique. Like, she's got her big mouth and stuff. Pumpkin just looks like a dog. So if I didn't want to just get a little dog plushie, I had to find something else. And this is what I found because he's a little bit crazy. We call him a spaghetti noodle sometimes. And he likes to like lay on his back and look all goofy. So I thought this is very goofy. This is like a little worm or snake thing. And I thought this looked like pumpkin. And that is everything I got from Don Quixote. Next up, I have a bunch of food themed things. This is like kitchen stuff or like food themed decor, which the food themed decor is one of the things that I was most excited to find in Japan, and you will see why in a second. We went to a like specialty chopstick store on Kappabashi Kitchen Street. So these ones are super cool because they have these little like pointed faceted tops to them. And these are actually Drew's pair. I apologize for the sun. And then this is my pair that I got. I got this one because it kind of looks like a loaf of bread. So this is like where you'd cut it, and then this is the crust on the outside. That is the only reason that I got them because they're beautiful, obviously. But that is one of the main reasons that I got these ones. And I also got these little chopstick holders. So I got a little shark and a whale, and I didn't really know that there were chopstick holders until I went to Japan. A lot of the restaurants that we would go to would set up the chopsticks on little chopstick holders like this, which is just adorable. So we had to get a couple of those. Next, I got a couple handmade items. So these were found in shops in the various towns that we went to. First one are these little napkins that are made 100% cotton. There was this little store that we went into and they had a bunch of these little handkerchief napkins. And then I also got some of these, like, they're handmade little vegetables. This is not what I'm talking about with the vegetable or the food decor. That's coming up next, but this is a close second. So we have this whole basket of little vegetables, and then the basket we got from a separate store that had a bunch of handmade items that were made by a bunch of different people. I wish I remembered the stores that I got this in, but we got them in Arashiyama, which if you watched the vlog, it was where we visited the Bamboo Grove and Monkey Park. And then last but not least with the food items, I went to a food replica store. I got some little sushis. These are magnets, so I'm putting them on my fridge, of course. I think this one's supposed to be mackerel. I'm not completely sure. This one is salmon, and this one is salmon roe. And then I also got some sushi rolls. So I got this one, which has avocado, crab stick, and flying fish roe on the outside. And then this one has crab, avocado, I think cucumber, and then nori on the outside. And then my favorite purchase from the store was this bowl of ramen. So I really wanted to get like a full dish of something. So I felt like I had to get some ramen, of course. So this is tonkatsu ramen. It's got a little pork belly cut, some bamboo, a egg, some nori, some onion, and then I'm not sure what this green stuff is, but it's probably delicious, whatever it's supposed to be. I don't know where I'm going to display this quite yet. I kind of want to hang it on the wall like this, but I don't know how I would go about doing that. For now, I'll just use it as a little decor in my kitchen, and people will be like,
Oh, you left this bowl of ramen out.
wait,
It's made out of plastic.
That is all of the kind of food-themed items that I got. So next on our list is all of the snackies that we got, which I'm very excited to get into because there's some really unique stuff here. First, I got these little candies. Next, I got these cute little kitty candies. I got it because it's super cute and it's got kitties. What I'm a little concerned about is that it might taste like if as a kid you had those Flintstone vitamins where they were like a powdery sort of texture and they just kind of disintegrate in your mouth. That's kind of what these are reminding me of a little bit. I hated those vitamins. I liked the gummy ones. We eventually switched to the gummy ones, but for years I had those Flintstone vitamins and I did not like them. But what I'm hoping is that these actually taste like Fun Dip. Next is something that Drew picked out, which is Shiba dog shaped cookies. These look adorable, let me tell you. So this one's the front of the dog. Look, he is so happy. And then this one, you can see a little back of him. That is so adorable. I think these are like an almond cookie, which I'm allergic to nuts, but I can eat almonds. Even if they taste like cardboard, they're super cute, so it doesn't really matter. And then lastly, I got these super cool candies. So they're like a hard candy, but they have little shapes in them. And when we went into the shop, they were actually making these. I don't know how they do it, how they get those shapes to look so good, but they did it nonetheless. And they gave us a little sample of one to try, and the one that I tried was delicious. Drew had one that was cola flavored, and I had one that I think was cherry flavored. And then this is a bag of a bunch of mixed flavors. So I'm excited to try all of the flavors and just like look at all the little pictures. Now I'm super excited to try these, and Drew and I will actually be trying these over on the Patreon. We will have an extended version of this YouTube video. And if you don't support us over on Patreon yet, we have a lot of fun perks over there. We do have extended versions of a lot of our YouTube videos. You can also get early access to our YouTube videos, and you can get discounts on our shop and much more. So if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, check out the link in the description. So next on the list, we got some clothes from Harajuku. So I'm just gonna go through those pretty quickly. If you don't know, Harajuku is known for a lot of its fashion. So I was super excited to go look at the clothes that they offered there, and they had some really cool stuff. First on the list, we have this cool print that Drew got. It reminds me of I think it's a Marilyn Monroe painting where it's a bunch of color blocks of the same print but different colors, if that makes sense. Next, this is a sweatshirt that I got. It also would probably fit Drew, honestly. This is from the same shop called Overprint. It's an embroidered like manga girl on the back, and then their logo on the front. And then also it looks like the sleeves actually can come unzipped. Sorry for the sun. Oh my gosh, I need to get some blinds up there. And then the next place I went to was AC/DC Rag, as you can see here. This is a store that I have ordered off of before online, and I was excited to actually go in and see it in person. Next, I stumbled upon this store called Hypercore, mainly because they had a little picture of Billie Eilish wearing this shirt. And I love Billie Eilish, so I had to get this one. That was the only reason I went into that store. I mean, I like this style as well, but Billie Eilish wore the shirt, so I had to get it. And then the last thing I got in Harajuku was a little outfit, like a Renaissance style outfit. So it's got like a corset and a sheer skirt, and then there's a shirt to match. I actually wore this outfit in a previous video, the vlog video. And then it's got a little lace around the neck, like so. It's got little clips for some poof sleeve additions, which I was not wearing because I was getting annoyed by them getting in the way. That is all the clothing that I got in Harajuku. And then I got this shirt in Amerimura, which is like Osaka's closest version of Harajuku. And then last, but certainly not least, we have some etc. items. So this is just items that I didn't know how to group with anything else. But there's some really cool stuff in here. Drew and I went into a building that just had tons of gacha machines, like hundreds of them. Not even kidding. So we just like went through and we're like, that's cute, that's cute, that's cute. So the first thing that we got was this bird thing, which is so cute. It's 2 birds, so it's like Drew and me. And then also it lights up. So cute. And then the next thing we got was a fishing axolotl. So this one, there was a lot of options, obviously, and I was wanting the axolotl out of all of them, and I'm glad that I got it. And it's just this little guy, and he can sit on the edge of something like this, and he's just fishing. That's super cute. One of the last things we found was a little sleeping Azumarill. There was other different sleeping Pokemon, and this is one that we got. So those are the 3 gachas we got, because I wasted all my money on the claw machine games, trying to win a Drifloon plushie that I never was able to get. I'm not salty about it. Next, we have a few things that we got from Super Nintendo World. First being the little banana that makes you slide around in Mario Kart. It is also a pencil case, I guess. I will not be using it like that. I will be displaying it. And then, of course, we got the little slap bracelets to be able to kind of interact with all the different things in Super Nintendo World. And then lastly, we got a little mystery Christmas ornament. Well, can I get it out? We ended up getting a little bomb. However you say it. Super cute. And that is everything that we got from Super Nintendo World. Lastly, we went to this store called Hands, which has a bunch of stuff. Again, it's like a department store, kind of like Don Quixote, but it's like, I think it's a lot smaller. But they did have a really cool DIY section of their store. And they had a lot of these miniature kits, which I have been seeing these on TikTok, where it's just like a mini room that you build, kind of like a dollhouse. I have been like dreaming of getting one, but I'm like, I don't know if I need it. But then we came across this garden, which definitely fits my vibe. Again, I love plants. I have a lot of plants. So this was like perfect. I had to have it. I'm very excited to build this. I might actually make a short about building this. I feel like that would be a cute little thing to do. Look, it's empty. That is everything that I got in Japan. Honestly, I am so happy with everything I bought. If you liked this video, I have another video where it was a vlog style of our trip to Japan, and it also kind of went over the itinerary. So if you're interested in more of a detailed day-to-day of what we did in Japan, go check that out. You can also follow us over on our other socials. We have a TikTok and Instagram. Check us out on Patreon if you're interested in getting early access or extended versions of our YouTube videos. And I will see you after your next quest, adventurer.